नहीं कोई बात नहीं हम उल्टा किया क्या अगर सरकार में एक्सप्लेन जैसे को कोई फोन नहीं करेगा सिलेक्ट नहीं बोलते वो मेरा फोन जाता है फोन करना चाहिए तो 50 लोग लेके आएगा यहाँ तो हम बैठे नहीं कहते
तो गलत बात है। वो कह रहे हैं फोटोग्राफर।
You are our South Indian DG.
चेन्नई के लिए कोई नहीं आएगा।
Come on, you go to Greece.
ट्रांसफर का बात किया तो कोई टेस्ट में आ जाएगा, बीपी बढ़ेगा।
पढ़ा लिखी आती है।
very warm welcome to all the respected officers and participants to day second of the field workshop on conservation and restoration of monuments. We hope you had a productive first day filled with enriching discussions and learning experiences. In today's session, we are honored to have with us the Honorable Additional Director General Shri Janvi Sharma ji. We extend our warm welcome, sir. We are also privileged to have with us respected Director Conservation Shri Sundar ji today. We extend our very warm welcome to you, sir. In the beginning, I would like to request Sub-Circle in Charge Balagar, Srimati Shruti Krishna ji, to kindly felicitate I would like to request our Superintendent Archaeologist Sri Vijay Kumar Asnaya to kindly felicitate Honorable Additional Director General Sri Janvi Sharma ji.
Good morning, all my friends, colleagues, fellow officers. Today, with yesterday's positive energy and vibe, second day of our workshop, and we have more enthusiastic and energetic officers today along with us to guide us through the training workshop. First of all, my warm welcome to our vibrant Additional Director General Conservation Shri Janvi Sharma ji. आपको मेरा शुभकामनाएं केरला में आपका सुस्वागत है. Second, I invite and welcome our Sundar Sahab, Director Conservation, and next Madam Priyanka Charan. 3 weeks ago, I invited her to the program. Directly I called her. Immediately she accepted my invitation, and I am very grateful to you to be here today with us to guide us through the various nuances of budget and other things. My warm welcome to Kerala and for this program. Thank you very much. And also our Sanjay Maurya ji, budget SO. उनको मैंने कई बार कॉन्टैक्ट करने के लिए कोशिश किया था, बट फोन में नहीं मिल पाया. My warm welcome to you also, sir. Thank you very much for being with us today here. And we will enter into our formal procedures here. Let us invite each and every officers to the program.
We request the esteemed dignitaries to kindly take their seats on the dais. I would like to invite Honorable Additional Director General Shri Janvi Sharma ji, respected Director Conservation Shri Sundar ji, may I invite Director Conservation Shri Bhima Ajmera ji. I would like to invite Srimati Priyanka Charan ji, Deputy Director Accounts. And may I now invite Shri Sanjay Maurya ji, Section Officer. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Sub-Circle in Charge, Palakkad, Srimati Shruti Krishnaji to kindly felicitate Honorable Additional Director General Shri Janvi Sharmaji by presenting a bouquet. May I now request our Superintending Archaeologist, Shri Vijay Kumar S. Nayak, to kindly present a shawl to the Honorable Additional Director General. Thank you, sir. May I now request Sub-Circle in Charge, Trivandrum, Srimati Anjitaji to kindly felicitate the respected Director, Conservation Sri Sundar Paulji. May I now request our respected Superintending Archaeologist to kindly felicitate Sri Sundar Paulji by presenting a shawl. May I now request Sub-Circle in Charge, Kochi Srimati Andiraji to kindly felicitate Srimati Priyanka Charanji, Deputy Director Account, by presenting a bouquet. May I now request Srimati Vejimol, Assistant Superintending Archaeologist, to please felicitate Srimati Priyanka Charanji by presenting a shawl. Thank you. May I now request Sub-Circle in Charge, Sri Nanduji, to kindly felicitate Sri Sanjay Mauryaji by presenting a bouquet. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a significant moment of today's event, the release of a book on the conservation works carried out by the Thrissur Circle. The book documents the dedicated efforts, technical expertise, and best practices adopted in the conservation and preservation of our invaluable heritage. We are honored that this book will be released by our esteemed dignitaries, Honorable Additional Director General. May I request the Honorable Assistant Director General, Shri Janvi Sharmaji, along with other respected officers on the dais, to kindly release the book. grateful to the Honorable Additional Director General and all the respected officers for graciously releasing the book. We now move on to the next important segment of today's session. It is our privilege to invite the Honorable Assistant Director General Shri Janvi Sharmaji to kindly deliver his presentation on conservation and related matters.
Fellow senior colleagues, all the directors of conservation, all the SAs of the Southern Circle who are present here, EPAC from headquarters, all the senior engineers, and the CS who are present here in this room. Before I begin my presentation, I must compliment Asi.ThrissurcircleCulture for the excellent arrangements that he has made and ensured that all of us are here together. And I was told that there are about 140 of us are in this room. And all the workshops that we have done so far, I think this is the largest number that I have the privilege of interacting with. Usually what happens is that whenever the workshops happen, we tend to go to the bigger cities or the ones like, normally people would think of Hyderabad or Bangalore in case of southern region, or if you go to west, normally we would think of Mumbai. But we thought that we will use this opportunity to go to a circle where normally we don't visit. And that gives us an opportunity to visit the circle and its monuments, but it's also an opportunity for us to kind of, in a setting, interact with everyone. So when about a couple of months back, I called up and asked Vijay that would he be keen to organize this workshop here, and obviously his response was very, very enthusiastic. And it's because of his efforts that we are here today. So I would like to thank you, Vijay, for all the efforts that you have made. And if my memory recalls, in 2009 perhaps, in Thrissur, there was an SA's meeting that was done. At that point in time, I think James was the DG. And after that, this is the first time that we are all gathered here, in which, as I said, that we are hosting this workshop. Now, my presentation on conservation will also be, it's not a simple presentation of showing what we are doing, how we're doing, because you're all obviously familiar with the works, and I can recognize many of my senior colleagues who are present here. And I've had an opportunity of working with them. And at some point in time, they had started their journey when they were the CAs. The SAs who are there today, at some point in time, they were the deputy SAs or the SAs. So I've had the privilege of working with most of you who are sitting towards the front, of having this journey together over the last 17 years that I have been in this organization. But it is the the reality here. I think some of you are familiar with, but some of you I think I am also seeing for the first time. So my presentation is actually for them, rather than for those who are sitting in front, because they are already familiar with what ASI does, what kind of challenges we are facing, and how do we handle these challenges almost on a daily basis. And we're not talking about challenges which are purely conservation in nature. We are talking about challenges which are also management related, archaeology related, or when you have to deal with the references, or that you have to deal with both matters. So there are many things that we have to actually handle, whether we are essays or we are engineers or we are the sub-circle in charge, whosoever we are, the challenges before us are enormous. And keeping in mind that we are working in such an environment, conservation is one of the important, obviously, objectives or the mandates of this organization that we have to handle, along with so many other things that we are doing, right? So my presentation over the next 45-50 minutes will just give a glimpse. Most of you perhaps will be familiar with it and it might be a repetition, but because I'm sort of talking to a larger audience, which is a newly recruited CAs, and I think once my presentation is over and when we have a brief recess or a break, I would like to interact with you all as well. Fundamental questions that I think we need to reflect on. We do conservation, we know that. But very simple questions I have. Why are we conserving? How are we conserving? Who is the one who can do conservation works? What is our approach to conservation vis-a-vis what is happening the world over? Is ours the only approach? Are other countries, China, Japan, and I think you would have heard my colleagues and maybe later Sundarpal will also give you some idea. We're working in other countries also. Europe, Africa, America. Are we all doing conservation the same way that we are doing, or do they have a different approach to conservation? And whose approach is the correct approach? Who decides on what kind of conservation work should be done on monuments? So there are some of the very, very fundamental questions that we have, and I think we should reflect on these questions and see, how do we respond to them? Now, as far as conservation goes, everything in the universe has a finite life. We all have a finite lives. We can't say that all of us will have the same age span. We will have varying age span depending upon many factors. Some internal factors, some health-related issues, some related to the environment, some are accidental in nature, but none of us have a constant lifespan. The same is true with materials as well. The materials do not have a constant lifespan. My colleague Sundar comes from Ladakh, where the monuments are mainly made of mud, by the way. If you come to Himachal, you would have stone with wood. If you come further down southwards, you would have obviously stone architecture. Agra, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, you would have stone. And stone of different varieties. If you come further southwards, if you come towards Maharashtra region, you have the Deccan Plateau, you have the basalt, you have the Deccan Crack. You come further south, you have the granite. If you go to the coastal areas, you have the condylite, you have laterite. If you go northeast, you have again wood and bamboo and a mixture of that. So everywhere you go, you will find different materials. Every material would have its own finite life. The harder material would tend to last longer, and the softer material would tend to last lesser. But the decay in a building, of course we are talking about monuments, but the decay in a building starts as soon as it is completed. Even the building that we are sitting in at the moment there will be a decay in case it is just left as it is. This very hall that we are sitting in, if we lock the hall, go away for a year, come back in this very hall and open it after 1 year and see what is the condition here. Multiple factors would have resulted in the deterioration of the material, the walls, the ceiling. There may be some damages that might have happened, some plaster might be peeling, some seepage might have started. So the decay would have started. And these decays could be natural and these decays could also be human induced. And normally, as we all agree, we all know that water, vegetation and the local environment are the most common enemies of any building or for that matter any material. Now what is conservation? For us, conservation is an attempt to postpone or prolong the decay, to keep it away and to ensure that our monuments or heritage resource is actually preserved for posterity. So something that we have received from our previous generation, our responsibility of all, the collective responsibility of all of us here is to ensure that it is kept in the condition and it was, we received it and that we pass it on to the coming generations. That is our role here as conservators. Now, as ASI, now I'm saying, we all know that we have 3685 monuments and their upkeep is our responsibility. And I'm sure you all know that it is our circles and we have a certain hierarchical structure and then you have subcircles and under each subcircle there will be a certain number of monuments and that's how we sort of look after our monuments through this hierarchical structure. But let's look at the monuments and the kind of diversity that we have. Now whether this diversity is in terms of types, whether you have archaeological sites, whether you have caves, you have shelters, you have rock cuts, you have monoliths, you have underground structures, and even the structures that are built are of enormous variety. The variety exists in terms of materials also. From mud, timber, stone of different kinds, wood, and then the composite application of these materials. So all of you who are present here are actually supposed to be, you're not supposed to stay here at one place forever. You will be traveling around. If today you're posted in Thrissur, tomorrow you could be in Harvard, or maybe you could be in Jodhpur, you could be in Guwahati. Anywhere that you go, you will have to handle the monuments of that, obviously, region. Which means a completely different understanding of the material and the structure systems that you would have to handle. So on your shoulders, particularly the youngsters who are sitting in the back, you have tremendous responsibility, but you also have to have an understanding of these different materials and these different types of monuments and construction systems. I don't know how many of you, including those who are sitting in the front, are aware of the 1915 Indian Archaeological Policy, which was obviously written during the times of Marshall, when he was the Director General. And in the policy, he made a very prophetic statement, which is obviously, I'm quoting it from that policy itself, where he says that it is the function of the Archaeology Department, which is now the ASI, wherein the conservation and investigation will be paramount responsibility of this organization, and that is something that, and then 10 years later, we're doing exactly the same. This is going to be one of our fundamental responsibilities to ensure that the monuments are well preserved or kept in a state of well preservation. I think my colleague Sundar, or maybe I don't know, Mr. Tima, whether they have pointed it out already, but I think Sundar will perhaps talk about this flow in greater detail. And this is a conventional flow that we are following. A site site inspection takes place, so some senior officer will go, visit the monument, inspection note, based on which the works are identified, the priorities are undertaken, the documentation happens, the analysis, the estimates, the tender process, and then the whole process of conservation begins. But this is something that in today's times we need to revisit. And I think I don't know how many of you, as CAs, senior CAs are aware of it, but mostly the circles are aware, the essays are aware, wherein there has been a sort of a concern raised that this approach that we are following is a little ad hoc. And ministry is taking cognizance of that, and they have been repeatedly telling ASI to actually change this whole system. Have to have a holistic perspective of a monument based on which the conservation works, or for that matter any other work needs to be identified. And now that I'm here and some of my colleagues are here, I think perhaps we will talk about this in greater detail in a while from now. So this is something which is of a great concern to us, because time and again this has been brought to our notice that the processes have not been carried out with due diligence. Without naming, how come a tender of the work failed 4 times? How come estimate of the same monument for materials, the rates vary? So if there are 2 estimates prepared of a monument and one comes to headquarters, the rate is different, but one stays in the circle, the rate is different. So there have been instances like these where anomalies have been brought to the notice, because of which now there is an effort to kind of systemize the whole thing and see that these errors that are happening, even though one may give the benefit of doubt and say that these are not manipulated intentions, but yet the errors are happening and these errors should not happen. We will talk about it in a while from now. Okay, now when we talk about conservation from ASI's point of view, we normally say conservation is a continuous process. This is an answer we also give in the parliament. Whether or not it is a different matter, but we say that it is supposed to be a continuous process, and even the act of maintaining it is also an act of conservation. Normally from our point of view, we focus on preservation, consolidation and cleanliness, but don't restore. But anyways, this trend is also now beginning to change. For us, the original and the historic material is of tremendous value. And therefore our effort is to ensure that that material is preserved at all costs. I can give you a very funny example. When I was studying in England, I was doing my internship and with a structural engineer, and he gave me an analogy by saying that, look, this is my grandfather's axe. Its handle has been replaced twice, its head has been replaced twice, it's still my grandfather's axe. But in conservation, obviously, this is not an analogy that we are supposed to follow. If the wood has a value, if the head has a value, under every circumstance, we must preserve that. And how do we preserve that is a technique that we must do. And sometimes the technique is not that we have to know everything. Sometimes we take help of other institutions, other experts or whosoever are there. But our effort is to ensure that the original material survives. We should not do any conjecture. Just that I would come and say, this is how we should do it. No. It has to be based on evidences. And evidences either documentary in nature or they could be in situ evidences. Only and only that's how a conservation should be undertaken. And as I said, that indirect conservation is also we do and mold the monuments, so all the maintenance and the regular monitoring is a key for that. must be, I'm sure you're reading it, but you must know that this 1923 manual, it may sound terribly outdated because it's more than 100 years now, but it still makes a lot of sense. We're in a process of updating it, but as of now the 1923 manual exists, so mind, you must read it. And wherever you think that it needs to be adapted to the contemporary circumstances and situations, you must do it on your own. You must be familiar with some of the charters. Just Google them, download them, keep them with you. They are international benchmarks documents for conservation and many aspects related to conservation.